Hi Pixels, it's Nally. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am displaying my Azir cosplay. He has been a really big hit, so he's going to keep us company right now. Today we are answering some questions that I got from my Instagram stories. I just want to preface and say that all of the items that I'm talking about in this video are not sponsored. One of my most famous questions: how do I stay cool in cosplay armor? So I personally like to use these mini fans that I found. What I like about these fans is that they actually have a clip on and they're very light. I like to clip them in areas that are hidden by my armor. So for example, with Azir, I like to put them right behind my neck. I would highly recommend these fans. This is not sponsored, by the way. I actually genuinely use these for Anime Expo and try not to die. So I will not sugarcoat it. You will be really hot in cosplay armor. That's just the reality of it. I know that's the boring answer, but you need to make sure to pace yourself and to not overexert yourself. It's very easy to overheat in this, especially if you have a lot of layers of foam all over your body. Best travel tip for armor, best way to carry a cosplay for travel. Over the years, I have always been traveling for cosplay, so it's second nature for me to figure out how to carry all of my cosplays. So for wigs that are styled, I really like to use a wig travel case. Okay, let me just show you guys how it works. So right now I have my Usagi wig right in here, and it actually comes with a stand, but I like that inside you can actually just slide it in and it actually holds. It also comes with a strap, so I could actually just put it on and it can be my personal item. So for helmets or hats that are too fragile to put inside of your suitcase. So my second advice for this is to actually just wear whatever hat or helmet you have on. I'm just saying, if you wear your cosplay helmet, you might get some questions, but it's okay as long as your cosplay helmet or hat makes it safely in one piece. Another recommendation I have is when you are crafting your cosplay, make sure that all of the pieces would fit in one suitcase. So what I did for my Azir staff is that it is actually two pieces of rod that is connected in the middle. So that way I could actually fit the two pieces inside of my suitcase, and the staff head and the tail are also separate pieces that I just end up attaching on. For props or weapons that are way too long for your suitcase is to use either a golf case or a gun case. I personally prefer to use a gun case because it does have extra padding. You might get a few questions by the agent that is checking in your luggage. Just open up the gun case or the golf case and let them know that these are just props that are not lethal. They might open it and put a paper slip inside, but other than that, I have flown 6-7 times with this and I have never had anything confiscated. Next question, how long have you been cosplaying? Okay, so I actually looked up when was the first time I cosplayed, and it was in 2013. So it has been 13 years that I have been cosplaying. I feel really old right now. I'm actually a bit embarrassed to show you guys this, but this was my very first cosplay. It was Ari from League of Legends. I started playing League of Legends back in 2013. I think that was season 2. I look back at this picture and I'm very embarrassed. I didn't know how to do makeup. I barely even put makeup. I just only had like eyeliner on, I think. I remember going to my local convention. It was kind of a weird dichotomy of, oh, I feel like my cosplay is not good enough for people to take pictures of me, but also thank you for even wanting to take a picture of me. I have revisited Ari quite a few times and I am much more satisfied with how I cosplayed her a few years ago. I think I would like to revisit her again just to see how much better it looks with my current makeup style, as well as how better I got with posing. I don't even think 2013 me could have even anticipated or even imagined how far I would get in cosplay. I don't think 2013 Nally would have thought that she could have made like a whole armor build like this. I'm so proud of how far I've come, and I'm also very grateful for everybody that has been so supportive of me over the few years. Next question, how do you learn cosplay makeup? For cosplay makeup, I do think my cosplay makeup has evolved quite a lot over the years. Yeah, so actually what you see right here is probably accumulation of a lot of different tutorials. More recently, I really like the Douyin makeup style. Usually what happens is I do not particularly change my makeup style until I come across a few tutorials and then I try something new. What cosplay has been your most popular? So my most popular cosplay used to be Life Weaver because I went on the BlizzCon 2023 cosplay contest stage. To this day, my Life Weaver cosplay is my longest build. It took me around 3 months to make him, and I do think he's my most detailed cosplay. More recently though, the reason why I have my Azir cosplay right here is because he has been my most popular cosplay. I first wore him for Anime Los Angeles 2026, and I was also hired to cosplay as Azir for the Riftbound Vancouver regional qualifiers. That was so fun because Azir is an actual champion that is featured in Riftbound, so a lot of people came up to me. I'm actually very grateful for all the attention and love that I've been getting for Azir, especially the Azir mains that come up to me. You can tell that they were genuinely extremely excited to see somebody cosplay their main champion, so I'm glad I could represent them. I'm actually really bad at Azir. I cannot play him, but I love his design, which is also why I decided to cosplay him. So yeah, my little chicken bird right here. What is the first step you do when you're going to decide on a cosplay? I really like the challenge and the fun in crafting a character that not many people have attempted. I also know my strengths lie in EVA foam and not particularly sewing or wig styling, so that's why I usually tend to lean towards characters that are armor builds, which is why I decided to craft the classic skin for Azir. Namely, the more recent characters that I have cosplayed are Azir, Zenyatta, Life Weaver, Viego, and Kaisa, and these are all classic skins. So next time you see me cosplay a character, you will know for sure that I am cosplaying a classic skin. Which cosplay are you most proud of? The cosplay that I am the most proud of is Life Weaver. I worked 3 whole months on this cosplay. I wanted to make sure that all the details were there. I made everything except the wig. I made everything from scratch. The armor was made with EVA foam. I also sewed the pants as well as the jacket. I also used vinyl to add all of the details. I also made the wings, and the pretty petals themselves are made out of acrylic. I also remember when Life Weaver came out, I fell in love with his design. I love that they added southeastern and lotus aspects to his design. I really love Life Weaver. I think I need to find more excuses to wear him. How do I learn how to sew and use EVA foam on a budget? There are a lot of resources online to learn how to sew. My very first sewing project was Junko from Danganronpa. I know, Danganronpa. I still really love the series, but I don't think I've even thought of the series in a very long time. But I used to be obsessed with it. Of course, I would do things a lot differently now that I know how to sew better. But the point is, I used to look for free or inexpensive patterns that kind of matched the clothes I wanted to make. So I would recommend to just buy a hand sewing kit and learning how to hand sew. After that, I think I was able to grasp what the general idea of sewing is, which is to combine pieces of fabric together using thread. Don't quote me on that. I don't know exactly what the definition is, but in my mind, that is what sewing is to me. A sewing machine essentially makes that whole process a lot faster. Of course, it has a lot more different functionalities, but I think the whole point is to make sewing a lot faster because hand sewing is very time consuming. I would suggest borrowing a friend's sewing machine or getting a second-hand machine. I think starting out, you don't necessarily need the fanciest sewing machine with a lot of functionalities. You just need it to sew. I do know there are also some maker spaces that also have sewing machines that are free to use for everybody. EVA foam is one of the cheaper materials to use to make accessories, props, or foam builds. Completing a small project for even like the smallest accessory from start to finish will give you a way better idea of what the whole process looks like, and afterwards it will be so much less intimidating if you wanted to do a much more ambitious build. What glues do you recommend for different armor foam materials? My go-to for EVA foam is definitely contact cement. You can buy this at your local hardware store. I usually use contact cement to glue EVA foam together. I still feel like this has been like the best glue for EVA foam to EVA foam, especially for the seam, because you want a glue that is not going to give up on you in the middle of a convention. Another glue that I really like is Cosplay hot glue, not to be confounded with regular hot glue. I personally prefer Cosplay hot glue because I feel like if I adhere smaller pieces to my EVA foam, I can trust it to actually hold it. So for the jewels that you see right here for my Azir cosplay, this has been held only with Cosplay hot glue. I have worn Azir at least like 7 to 8 times now, and you can see that the jewel is still holding on very well. I would suggest using Cosplay hot glue to glue more lighter pieces to your EVA foam. I have also used Cosplay hot glue to glue Velcro onto my foam pieces. So my gauntlet right here has the foam tips actually hot glued with Cosplay hot glue to the very tips of it. Alright, that's it for all of the questions that I have received. If you are curious and wanted to ask more questions, feel free to follow me on my Instagram. Special announcement! So I am actually opening a Patreon. It has always been my dream to do YouTube, and I'm finally getting the courage to. If you really like my cosplay craft or just want to support me, feel free to have a look. I will see you guys next time, Pixels. Bye!